The HaloCollar is one of the best GPS dog fences on the market, but it's not the right fit for everyone. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly who it's built for, where it shines, and when it might be more collar than you actually need. And if you decide that Halo is right for you, there is a link in the description for an exclusive discount that can save you a pretty significant amount on your purchase. All right, so let's talk about the big question. Why go with a GPS collar instead of just, say, putting up a fence? Well, first off, cost. If you're trying to fence in a few acres, the price can really add up fast. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars. Even invisible fences with underground wiring can run you a few grand, and they only work in that one spot. Plus, of course, you've got to deal with the maintenance, the wire breaks, and all that random stuff that messes with it. Halo, it's about $500 to $600, depending on sales, plus a monthly subscription. And even if you use it just for a few years, it's still way cheaper and easier than building any kind of traditional fence. But what I really like is just how flexible it is. You can make multiple fence zones and you can switch them out whenever you want or need to. Full property during the day, smaller area at night, done. Redoing your yard or adding a garden? Check. Just redraw the boundary in the app. No tools, no cost. And with traditional invisible fences, if a wire breaks, you're kind of out of luck until it's fixed. Halo doesn't have that issue at all. No buried wires, nothing to snap, and it works no matter the weather. And honestly, the biggest perk for me is just that you can take it with you. If you like to travel, that's a huge bonus. Visiting family, going camping, renting a place for the weekend, your dog's boundaries come with you, and it's super easy to set up basically wherever you are. All right, here's where the HaloCollar really shines. If you've got a big yard or honestly a lot of land, it's super helpful. I've tested it on everything from a couple of acres to over 50, and being able to draw out custom boundaries that follow your actual property lines is a total game changer. You can skip over gardens, over pools, over your neighbor's land, and your dog still gets tons of room to roam. The GPS is really accurate enough to warn your dog before they cross the line, not after it. It starts with a tone and then a little buzz and only uses the static correction if they ignore all the other warnings. Most dogs learn it pretty fast, and it helps them self-correct without totally freaking them out. What makes Halo really different from traditional fences is just how well it works in multiple locations. I've got fences saved for my home, my parents' house, a campsite, and a rental cabin that we go to often, all in one app, ready to switch on whenever we get there. You can either walk the boundary or you can just draw it in the app, which is super easy. Both of them work really well, but walking it is just, of course, a little more precise. So if your dog is super active or loves pushing the limits, this thing helps a lot. It doesn't just contain them, it kind of like trains them over time. And it holds up really well in tricky areas too. I've used it in forests, hills, even snowy spots, and it stays really accurate. As for the battery, it lasts a good couple of days, and it's waterproof, so you don't have to worry if your dog likes running through a creek or gets caught in the rain or jumps in the ocean. You never know. Let's be real, not everyone needs to drop $500 on a GPS dog collar. There are a few situations where Halo is probably overkill. If you've got a small yard, like a typical suburban backyard, you're paying for features that you're never gonna really need to use. Halo's precision is great, but if your dog's just hanging out in a 50 by 100 foot space, a basic circular system that costs a couple $100 is probably going to do the job just fine, no subscription needed. Same goes if you live in an apartment or if you have an older, less active dog. Halo's really built for dogs that run, explore, and test limits and boundaries. So if your dog is more of a couch potato who only goes out for walks, this is probably a little more collar than you need. Another thing, Halo really shines when you take it to different places. You can save fences for your house, your friend's ranch, a campsite, whatever. But if you don't travel with your dog or hopping between properties or whatever, you're not going to be needing to use any of that anyway. And yes, the subscription really does matter. It adds up. If budget is at all a factor for you and you just need simple, reliable containment in one spot, you might be better off with a cheaper, no-frills option. Bottom line, Halo's awesome if you need flexibility, GPS precision, and portability. But if that doesn't describe how you use your yard or how your dog behaves, it's probably a little more tech than you actually need. So if you're pretty sure you want a GPS fence by this portion of the video, you might also be wondering, is this the best GPS dog fence? For a long time, SpotOn was the GPS dog fence. Super accurate, recommended by pro trainers, and built for tough terrain. Their whole thing was precision. They claimed 7 times better accuracy than any other systems. And honestly, early on, that felt true. If you needed something that could handle forests, hills, or GPS dead zones, SpotOn was the go-to. But a lot has changed with the HaloCollar 4. In my recent tests, Halo's latest version held its own. In normal environments, yards, parks, even some wooded areas, I didn't notice a meaningful difference in accuracy at all. Unless you're dealing with some really extreme conditions like thick forests or steep canyons, Halo's performance is basically right there with SpotOn. Where Halo starts to pull ahead is really in the stuff that matters for everyday users. We're talking about price. This, of course, is always the big one. Halo costs about half of what SpotOn does, and that alone makes a huge difference if you're trying to get great performance without breaking the bank. Ease of use. Halo's app is way more intuitive. SpotOn's works, but it just feels more engineered. Better if you're into tech, but not so great if you just want to set it up and go. Comfort. Halo's collar is lighter and less bulky, so if your dog hates wearing big gear, that matters. Mine adjusted to Halo faster than SpotOn, for sure. Support. Halo's built more for everyday dog owners. Their onboarding, training tools, and their customer service are really super approachable. With that said, SpotOn still does have a few wins. Number one, you don't need a subscription to use their fence, which is a huge plus for me. And that can save you a lot in the long run. It's still slightly more accurate in really tough environments. So if you're off-grid or you need pro-level precision, it's still solid. Their collars feel really rugged, maybe more durable over time. So yeah, Halo and SpotOn are closer than ever now. If budget and ease of use matter most to you, then Halo's probably going to be the better bet. If you want the absolute top-tier build and accuracy, and you don't mind paying for it, SpotOn still deserves a look. So who should actually buy a HaloCollar? Halo makes sense if you have a large property. We're talking multiple acres where your dog can explore and where custom boundary shaping provides real value. If you travel frequently with your dog, or if you have multiple properties where you need containment systems in all of the properties. If you want a modern, user-friendly system that doesn't require technical expertise to operate effectively. For those who decide that Halo is right for their situation, make sure you check in the description. We've got a link for current discounts and current promotions, and this savings can really be substantial and make this already good value even better. So what questions do you have about GPS dog fences? Make sure you drop them in the comments below, and I will do my very best to help you make the right decision for you and your specific situation.